Saudi Arabia is weird. Not the country, though attempting to build a city in the shape of a skyscraper taking a nap in the desert that categorically ignores how the world works wasn't necessarily a stroke of genius, but the name Saudi Arabia is weird. Because Saudi Arabia is the only country in the world named after its ruling family. Let's dissect this for a sec. The Arabia part, you know. This is the Arabian Peninsula, that's where the Arabs come from. All pretty table tennis. The Saudi part, that comes from the royal family of Saud. Actually Al Saud, but my Arabic is about non-existent, so let's keep it uniformly anglicized instead of variably wrong. Careful, by the way, don't say the Al Saud family, since Al already means family, so you'd wind up saying the Saud family, and everyone laughing at you and throwing Best of Modern Talking cassettes your way, and you deciding to never speak a word ever again, and moving somewhere no one knows your name, Brussels or something, and child, believe me, you don't want that. Careful number 2, no matter what you do, for God's sake, and Muhammad too if you wanna, instead of Saudi Arabia, never ever call it Saudi only. Don't say, last race wasn't great, but we're hoping for a better result in Saudi. And especially don't say, who says Saudi ain't tolerant? Crazy comedy shows over here. I know Saudi Arabia isn't the shortest name in the world, but completely dropping Arabia, leaving only the naked Saudi, can be the solution not. Comparison? You know French Polynesia, yeah? Imagine you book a vacation there, but because to you, the name's too long, your time too short, and your ego definitely 2 sizes too big, you just say, I'm flying to French tomorrow. I'm pumped, man. My guarantee, 90% of people call an ambulance 100% of the time, since clear diagnosis, hemorrhagic stroke. So please, thank you, Saudi always with Arabia, so the EMTs don't need to move out for nothing. In any case, the Saud family has ruled Saudi Arabia ever since Saudi Arabia became a thing, so it makes some sense the country's named after a family. And still, it's pretty weird. Just imagine the United Kingdom being called Windsor Britain, or the Netherlands Orange Nassau Netherlands, or Japan. The Japanese imperial family actually doesn't have a surname, so... They have no surname? Nope. None at all? Not even none. The emperor's called Naruhito, and that's it. His daughter's called Aiko, and that's it. His wife's called Owada Masako, at least she used to be. Then she got married to him, and surname gone. So in Japan, a Saudi Arabia situation not only unthinkable, but impossible. But Spain could be called Bourbon Spain, and Thailand Chakri Thailand, and Morocco Alawi Morocco, but they don't. Because that'd be weird. Sure, there's countries like the Philippines or Uzbekistan that are named after rulers, but those are straight up place names nowadays. Philip II of Spain has in the Philippines and Uzbek Khan has in Uzbekistan exactly no say whatsoever. Not only because they're both a bit too old for that now. So Saudi Arabia stands alone. No other country in the world is named after its ruling family. Dramatic pause. Except there actually are 2 more. The first one's not far at all. From Saudi Arabia, we do a little jump over the northwestern border, and we're in Jordan. Jordan is named after the River Jordan. You say stupid things and I hate you. Okay, fair. But what's the complete official name of Jordan? Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. Guess just who the Hashemites might be. Probably the royal family of Jordan. Surprising fact. Now you're gonna think Saudi Arabia in the Middle East, Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan in the Middle East, so the third country you're looking for can't be far either. But that depends. Depends on what? On whether you count Liechtenstein as part of the Middle East. Liechtenstein? Yes! The tiny principality of Liechtenstein, stuck between the geopolitical giants Switzerland and Austria, does have a democratically elected parliament, but the last word always belongs to the prince from the noble house of Liechtenstein. And just if that wasn't clear already, the country of Liechtenstein is simply named after the family of Liechtenstein, which is a bit much. Jordan at least slightly hides the Hashemites in the official long name. Saudi Arabia does a hybrid solution with family plus place, but Liechtenstein jumps right in and goes country, family, Liechtenstein, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia. A cute little club. But why are there only 3 countries in the world named after the ruling families? Well, first of all, you need a ruling family, so monarchy. That's where most countries fall away already. Much bigger thing though, the idea of country named after king, cause king above all else, just no longer fits the times. In the past, ruler-based country names like Habsburg Empire, Ottoman Empire, or Achaemenid Empire were quite common. But today, even the epitome of a monarchy tries to at least give the impression to work for the people. But when some king comes around the corner, yelling mine and putting his name on his country, not a good look. Okay, so Saudi Arabia, not ideal, but why not call it just Arabia? For more than 2,000 years we've been using that name for the region. Can't be that bad. But bad is that Saudi Arabia is not the Arabian Peninsula, and the Arabian Peninsula is not Saudi Arabia. Just ask Yemen, the Emirates, Oman, Kuwait, Qatar, and maybe a few other countries what they think of one country taking the name of the whole region, thereby implicitly making claims on their territories. Gonna say, no, stop, please not. Therefore, keep the peace and quickly drop this whole Arabia idea. And still, Saudi Arabia, I can't give my blessings to in good conscience. And it's my blessing that it's all about. I am, after all, a rando from the internet. Now detractors might say, why should I have a say in this at all? The thing's clearly 100% Arabica. If people want it to be called Saudi Arabia, then so be it. One question, please. Do the people in Saudi actually want that? Do the people in Saudi Arabia actually want that? Just in time there, buddy. Let's check the data. The results of the last countrywide referendum in Saudi Arabia clearly state that in Saudi Arabia, there are no countrywide referendums. So, no idea what the people want. Damn. But luckily, there's an unelected king and an unelected head of state who understand their people so magnificently they can read its will in the tea leaves. Ask them and they'll say Saudi Arabia is a good, strong name that 20 million Saudis and millions of work migrants who led to this monstrosity of a population pyramid are very, very proud of. And actually, there is one good reason why Saudi Arabia is a pretty practical name. 1932, Saudi Arabia doesn't even exist yet. Instead, you have the crumbs of a broken apart Ottoman Empire and all kinds of Arab tribal territories. Over the years, those get conquered by Ibn Saud and ruled by his hand as the Kingdom of Hijaz and the Emirate of Najd. But turns out, two territories ruled separately, bit of a drag, so he takes them and merges them into one country. Only question is, what should that new country be called? It has no strong cultural or historic basis for its existence, and it extends over 2,000 kilometers from one side to the other. What's the biggest thing Hijaz and Najd have in common? Well, the king. So Ibn Saud goes ahead and says, country not Hijaz, country not Najd, but country Al-Mamlaka Al-Arabiya Saudiya, the Saudi Arabian Kingdom. And that's the name that went around the world. In German, Saudi Arabian, in English, Saudi Arabia, and in French, Arabie Saoudite. Only in Arabic does it also have a short name, a name commonly used in everyday life, As-Saudiya, strictly translated, the Saudi one, or simply, and I can't believe I'm saying this right now, Saudi. Hey there, human behind the screen. Don't go anywhere, cause there's a bonus video coming right up, explaining, among other things, why the House of Saud won't die out anytime soon. But first, something fresh. Over the years, I've put all kinds of crazy characters in my videos. A pop star, a potato, an old woman with a stick. But now, those don't just exist in the digital world anymore, but in the real one. On paper. Mesdames et messieurs, je présente the Tapa Kappa collector cards. 18 cards with me and my limbless friends. In front, there's a name, number and picture. In the back, there's facts about the character, from slightly dumb to actually really dumb. But main shh, those facts stay secret until the cards are in your hands. Attention though, Tapa Kappa collector cards are exclusively available for Patreon members. The exact conditions you can find on patreon.com/tapakappa, but to make it short, all those people in the credits, they're getting cards. 4 cards per year, every year. If that's something you're interested in, head to patreon.com/tapakappa, support the channel, and get some exclusive collector cards on the side. And now, bonus video. Some facts didn't make it into the main video, but are so juicy, it'd be a shame for them to wither away in my text document. Number 1. The United Kingdom isn't called Windsor Britain, already said that. But if it did have a ruling family country name before 1917, it wouldn't have been Windsor Britain, but rather Saxe-Coburg-Gotha Britain. Not only is that name definitely totally too long, but the British public might not have appreciated that the name is, you can see that from miles away, not British, but German. 1917, there's World War I, and British King George V is a bit skittish ever since his cousin, Emperor Wilhelm II, started dropping bombs over London. So George throws away all his German medals and drops the house names Saxe, Coburg and Gotha, and instead christens himself and his family after his crib, the royal residence, Windsor Castle. Number 2. Saudi is actually a pretty confusing term. It can be an adjective and a noun, and that noun can then be applied to two different groups of people. Saudi is a person that's part of the Saud family, but Saudi also is any person with Saudi citizenship. Number 3. Ibn Saud, founder of Saudi Arabia in 1932, had so many children. Now, what's many children? 3, 5, 7? Other prime number? How about 45? Boys. 45 sons from 22 wives is what he had, no lie. And if my math skills plus a 50-50 gender split probability are correct, he must have had just as many daughters. We don't know that for sure though, since, no joke, they seemingly just weren't counted? Really likable bunch. What's wild though is what 45 boys meant for the royal succession in Saudi Arabia. Ibn Saud was king, then 1953 his son Saud IV became king, and from him all the way to the king in this our year 2026, Salman. All 6 kings after Ibn Saud are his sons and therefore brothers. Only Muhammad, son of Salman, will kick off a new generation of kings when his daddy cashes out and he ascends to the throne. Number 4. Do you notice how I said Muhammad, son of Salman? That was very much on purpose, because that's exactly how Arab names work. Today's ruler and future kings called Muhammad bin Salman al Saud. In English, Muhammad, son of Salman, from the House of Saud. His grandfather, the state's founder, is usually called Ibn Saud, but was actually named Abdulaziz bin Abdul Rahman al Saud. So Abdulaziz, son of Abdul Rahman, from the House of Saud. Number 5. I looked around for other people sharing my distaste for the name Saudi Arabia. You'd think in a population of 20 million Saudis, one would easily find a few people that aren't too psyched about it. Problem is, you don't hear too much from them, since, when it comes down to it, they'd rather keep their heads. The groups that most vocally stand against the name Saudi Arabia are unfortunately the Houthis in Yemen and the Islamic State. Both not exactly groups you'd want to do a Model UN with. Number 6. I couldn't find any data about the Saudi people's sentiments towards the country name, the royal family, or the monarchy in general. What I did find though was data from the neighborhood, from Iraq, Jordan, and Kuwait. Those aren't your quintessential democracies either, but despite that, the population in those places seems to lean somewhat pro-democracy. If that's no reason for hope, I don't know what is. Number 7. The name of Libya looks really cool in Arabic. L-I-B-I-A. Completely symmetrical. Only thing cooler than that is the Libyan national anthem. That one's called, and I swear that's not a joke, Libya, Libya, Libya. So much for the bonus video. Please support me on patreon.com/tapakapa so I can buy some hash browns with sour cream dip. Thank you, goodbye.